Good morning, all of you. We will today in today's class we'll discuss about the damped oscillations and forced oscillation. This particular topic is only there for the mains, not there for advanced. So just few small idea, or you can say concept. Then there's the numericals are there. Or say some formulas are there. Just you have to remember, it's not something. And if you look at the mains exam, no, what all we studied till now SHM and what I'm going to teach now are equal weightage. So this will be very tricky preparation. What will happen for mains exam, like kinematics of SHM, simple pendulum, compound pendulum, and damped and forced oscillation. So the total SHM what we have behind this particular thing, damped and forced oscillation, both are equal weightage in the advanced mains exam. So how you have to revise? First, you have to revise damped and forced oscillation. If you read 2-3 times, it's a theoretical information. You read 2-3 times, you'll get habituated and you start remembering, and you can manage numericals. This is very, very important for mains exam. Advanced, it's not there for us. So the preparation for mains is totally different for individual chapters here. So we have discussed so many lengthy numericals. No, all they are like only learning things, not at all useful for mains. So the way you prepare for, I'm not talking about the weekend exam, the final exam. In the final exam, when you go for no, what to read, what not to read is something very important for mains. So therefore, constantly teacher instructions becomes very vital, especially for the exams of like this, what you go for, no? So do prefer the teacher instructions till last moment. What our teacher tells, try to implement them. You'll be on safer side. See, what all we give instructions only to make you little bit to improve your efficiency. So you can write in your notes for mains SHM preparation, what will be the order, damped oscillation, forced oscillation, then the simple pendulum, compound pendulum, kinematics of SHM. Pretty sure. This is a priority, I'm telling, highest priority. Then advanced, okay, this damped and forced oscillations, not there for syllabus. Pretty sure. This much of clarity is what student is needed. Okay, we'll start with the so it's same spring block only, just we are going to introduce additional forces here. First, we'll begin with the damped oscillation. So if you look at the first, we had initially some idea, no? Like if it is a spring block system, there's a spring, there's a block. Now, what is the time period of oscillations of this, or what you can call angular frequency of oscillation, omega naught, which is K by M. Here, absence of any air or no viscous drag. We'll write it here. No. In the absence of air, then no viscous drag will be acting. Then the angular frequency of oscillation is given by under root of K by M. I think that this is no problem. And what is the equation of motion? So in fact, what is the idea? The idea will be Kx naught plus X. This will be mg. Initially at equilibrium, I further pull it down and release, then it will accelerate. Then the equation, what we write it, minus ma equal to Kx naught plus X minus mg. And we know at equilibrium, Kx naught equal to mg. Assuming that you know all these things, directly I'm writing it. So Kx naught will cancel out. So what is the restoring force? Minus ma equal to Kx. Or further, this will be written as minus m d square x by dt square. No? Or what is the equation it will be? So this is the equation of the SHM. Further, we'll write omega square equal to omega naught square equal to Km. Then solving this, we are getting this equation. I'll write in step. And there's a background what we know. And what is the angular frequency? Under root of K by M. Okay, there's the expression for angular frequency of oscillations. So shall we call this as like a undamped? I'll call this as like undamped because there is no any other forces acting other than restoring force of the spring. So what is this? Everything what we are discussing is an undamped oscillation. Let me immerse this in a liquid. So this spring block system, what I'll do is like, I will take this. This everywhere liquid is there. Okay, here liquid is present. We know example of liquid, water. What is the best example? It will have viscous drag. Now what will happen? We'll see it. So initially it is in equilibrium. Again, you check it. No, the books, what happened, everything is fine. That's a small basic diagrams. What actually it is? What do you mean by damped oscillation? Where do we see that? That's a small basic things. What happen? Maybe the textbooks they have discussed as if that there's a very general thing where no need to draw diagram. No need to draw diagram. In that way, what happened? They just started with mathematical treatment. So what are the forces that are acting? Kx naught, mg, and there's a bind force. Will I agree this? So initially, what is the elongation of spring? Let it be x naught. Now I'm going to further stretch this. Oh, no, anything will happen. So consider the viscous drag also into the picture. Tell me what will happen here. How you write now the equation of SHM for this. Okay, I'll just modify the diagram. I thought, okay, no. What are they still? What are the forces acting? Mg. It got further elongated. X. So how much of spring force here now? Further, it is being elongated. So spring force, how much will act? K x naught plus x. Then along with that, bind force. So I'll give velocity at this particular point. Okay, better. So yeah, when it arrives here, it will have velocity v. At mean position, I'll give velocity v naught. Then the block starts moving down. Then viscous drag, water will exert viscous force. So viscous drag will be acting. And along with that, a buoyant force will be acting. What are the equations we can write here now? I think initially FB plus KX naught will balance MG. So initially FB plus KX naught equal to MG. So now what is the additional force that will be acting? So minus ME So in what direction the retardation will be in this direction. So therefore, the equations of motion will be minus ma is equal to minus, also like a fb We'll agree this. Look at all the equations. The resultant force Fb plus spring force kx naught plus x plus viscous drag minus mg equal to 0. There's a retardation. So we know from here initial Fb plus kx naught minus mg should be equal to 0. So what will be left over? Will be left over with kx plus viscous drag. So this will be, we'll be writing it as, what is viscous drag? This entire viscous drag, I'll write it as B into V, where B is called as damping coefficient and depends on so what all, I think you go back to depends on shape of the body, the shape of the body and nature of liquid. So this particular damping coefficient, it depends on what all. Damping coefficient depends on shape of the body and nature of the liquid. Water, I'll take oil, I'll take honey, milk, let it be different types of liquid. For different types of liquid, this damping coefficient will be different. So if you may get confused, sir, what is that? Just very simple. You go for viscous drag. What you write? 6 pi eta. This is for spherical ball, no? What is eta? Eta depends on nature of liquid. And instead of this, if you take a cylindrical shape, the body instead of spherical, if the cylindrical shape, some other value will come for this. This will be some other value. If it is some cubical block, what will happen to this quantity? 6 pi r will be different. For different shaped objects, again, this quantity will be different. Again, for different liquids here. So therefore, the damping coefficient depends on, B is a damping coefficient, depends on shape of the body, shape of the body and nature of the liquid surrounding the body. Okay, water, or I'll write better liquid. Nature of a fluid, even it can be gases also, water be that one. So for different shaped objects from viscosity chapter, we know that this particular formula is applicable only for what? Spherical. If I bring cylindrical, cubical, conical, definitely this formula will change. So that everything will call that as damping coefficient. Okay, fine. So nothing big. Already we know viscosity. This is a viscous drag. So what is Fe? Fe is a viscous drag. There's a small thing which will help you a lot. No, you can understand this particular question very easily. So what is the damped oscillation? We are discussing now the oscillations in the presence of some resistive force like a friction. Here it's a viscous drag where the viscous drag will be proportional to V. So that SHM along with some resistive forces is what? Damped oscillation. This is what practically, yeah, what all we discussed till now is a theoretical. This was the practical. Okay, this particular, we can rewrite this as minus M. Okay, this is the equation which is little bit difficult, no? The what we have seen. Okay, plus it is. What the equation we have seen and the what equation you have is little bit different, no? This is the additional parameter it has come. Without this, it will become SHM, what we have studied. No, some damping effect has to be introduced here. So we have to solve it. If you solve this, what is the equation of SHM will be? if you solve this particular thing, what is the solution for this? It will become a sine omega t plus phi. General solution for this equation when you solve it, no, I think if you have studied in calculus, if you integrate this and solve it, no, the general solution for this will be this much. What is x? X will vary harmonically. This is undamped oscillation. Now for damped oscillation, okay, this additional parameter, what we got it. So when I solve this, the general solution for this will be x is equal to a of t cos omega t plus pi. You need not to bother, sir, how it has come directly. Uh, Solving the second order differential equation with some constants. So when you solve it, no, we'll end up this equation. So even in maths, I think you don't study. Okay, you can just leave it out this one. You can remember here. So here, if there is no damping effect, then the general solution for the second order differential equation is this much here. Sir, why you write sine cos? It all depends upon the phase angle. I'm not saying that it should be sine only. Whether it's a sine cos, it all depends upon the initial phase. Agreed? Similarly, here also that one. What is this? The amplitude. That amplitude varies with the time given by a of t equal to a naught. I think I'll magnify it. We'll minimize it so that we'll get some space here. Okay, the general solution for this will be a of t equal to a naught e to power of minus bt by 2m. Don't bother about how it came. If you refer some books, no, related to oscillations and waves, there it is being derived. So as far as our level is concerned, we'll just accept this one. So what is B again? B is the damping coefficient. What is M? Mass of the block. Agreed? No? See, like I want you to look at the picture. In the picture, so like the value of B depends on what? Will it depends on spring constant? No. It depends on what? It depends upon the nature of liquid. Okay, this is. So this amplitude, it will vary with the time. And then what about the omega? Omega is given by the formula omega naught square B by 2m. What is omega naught? Already in the previous section we have discussed. So this will become K by m 4m square. So this is the angular frequency. What is tan phi? Tan phi also let me define. Tan phi depends upon B omega So you look at the mains exam, no, they just asked what is the phase angle. It depends upon the value of these things. The phase, this particular thing. What is the amplitude? So this is the amplitude. It will vary as a function of time. What is the oscillation energy? Okay, now we know oscillation energy is equal to oscillation energy will be, it is called as E of t. We'll try to get, we know amplitude. So what is oscillation energy? Oscillation energy should be equal to, how much? It should be equal to E of t should be equal to K like in SHM we used to write K square by 2. So this will become, I'll square that quantity A naught square by 2 e to power of minus bt by okay, this after solving K A naught square by 2 e to power of minus bt by m. This is the expression for the energy. So this K A naught square by 2, I'll write it as E naught here. Formulas are very, very, very important. Okay, this is about, so so these are the equations what I had. Still students asking, sir, where do we use? This is what practically we see. Till now, what all we studied SHM, it's a ideal on paper. Practically, this is the SHM what you notice. Are you getting now? The SHM now what I derived equation, no, this is the practical one. No? Practically, this is the type of SHM is what we see. What all we discussed till now, it's an ideal. We just assume that there's no viscous drag, there's no frictional force. Is it possible? Is it possible? Nothing, no. So can we do experiment in the absence of air? Not advisable, no. So practically what happens? There'll be air, and when a block, spring block is oscillating, there'll be an air. Due to air, what will happen? There'll be an SHM. There'll be a damped oscillation. Getting some idea? Okay, now what all we discussed, I think just only straight away the set of formulas is what you have to remember. Nothing big. Everything is visible. This is what we have discussed till now. Okay, what about the type of any, sir? I'll vary the value of B because I can vary, instead of water, let me take milk. As I, anybody? Somebody was asking. Okay, I'll continue then. So what is that ET? What is ET? What is E naught? Oscillation energy at time t, and what is E naught? E naught is initial energy. Let me define these terms. What is, because every quantity we should know this one. What is ET? Oscillation energy at time t. What is E naught? With the time, what will happen to this energy? No, will it remain constant or will it increase or decrease? Anybody wants to answer? Oscillation energy. You know mathematics. I just want students to really analyze once. With the time, what will happen to oscillation energy? Will it remain constant or will it decrease with the time?
Decreases, sir.
It decreases time. This is the idea of the problem. Huh? So what all we are discussing our theory, no, this is the question is what we have to ask. Okay, damped oscillation. Damped oscillation, what will happen? The oscillation energy itself will decrease with the time. Okay, now you have to ask questions. What is that omega? Omega is the angular frequency of oscillation. Sir, already we have omega naught s. The in damped oscillation, the angular frequency of oscillation is given by this particular formula. If damping is very small, it will become omega equal to under root of k by m. If damping effect will come, the angular frequency, the new angular frequency is given by this particular formula. Able to get this, and this amplitude, you get this amplitude curve. This amplitude itself will vary. Can you expect the curve, the amplitude will vary with the time? So no, so definitely what happen, the value of B will determine how do that amplitude will vary, how that amplitude will vary. So now let me go for the plotting of graphs. Looking at these equations, no, I'm interested to know that how that amplitude varies with the time. Let me introduce to the graphs. Okay, what are the equations? We know amplitude is equal to A naught e to power of minus bt by 2m. This is the equation. Then oscillation energy, just now we have derived it, no? E naught. Okay, let's plot or the curve amplitude as a function of time we are trying to plot here. First, the undamped, if there is no damping effect, if there's no damping effect, how it will be. Three lines. Okay, this is a thing. All different colors are there. So just notice that colors. Okay, these are the, this one is undamped oscillation. Undamped. It's not a straight line, actually it's a curve. I think okay, this will be over damped. Critically damped. This is under damped. Kids entered my room. Huh? Okay, now we have this one. The value of B will determine the nature of oscillation, the nature of oscillation. Over damped, undamped, under damped, critically damped. Sir, what is the meaning of this? Very difficult to manage kids. Huh? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Okay, now. Huh? These are the types of conditions will come. Now you have to ask question from where these equations you have brought it. I have plotted this particular thing. So it is the amplitude. The amplitude itself, what will happen? So like from where this harmonic everything has come, this particular amplitude, what will happen? The way the value of B, what happened? Based on that, what happened? The type of oscillations, what we can get it, you know. So O damped, critically damped, under damped, undamped. Undamped means when B is zero, when there's no any damping effects are there. Critically damped. So when this critically damped conditions will come, next question comes. So when the critically damped, if B is very high, O damped, okay, gradually this one means here the block is not permitted even to complete one oscillation. You can see that the amplitude what happened will start. So this is what I'll write A naught. Actually, I should, this undamped is what an ideal condition. Practically what will happen? So either will sometimes what will happen, critically damped is will be used for some applications. For some applications, what will happen? We go for this underdamped oscillations. And some applications over damped. It all depends upon this one. So you see critically damped here what happen? The block is not permitted even to complete one oscillation. The block is even not permitted to complete one oscillation. The damping effect is very high. Now, what about underdamped? Yes, the block will oscillate. Sine cos doesn't matter. Huh? So even I should start from here. It should be off like this. Just for a convenient, I just shown it. You'll get confused. Okay, no. What is underdamped? It will oscillate. So maybe like what happened, the amplitude keeps on decreasing. The energy will be lost gradually. This is underdamped. Overdamped, what happened? It will take more time for the amplitude to decrease. One oscillation only, you can see that one. It is not permitted here to complete one oscillation here. Gradually, the amplitude will decrease here. So this is the type of thing will come. It all depends upon the value of B. Where do we use this critically damped? So if you look at the shock absorbers for bikes and cars, no, or vehicles, you can, shock absorbers are very, very important, no. So what is the purpose of that? As the vehicle moves away, so if any bump arrives here, suppose on a road, if any bumps arrives here or any pit, the way the inside the car, what will happen, which is here, inside here what happens. So I'll just show springs so that it will be easy for you to understand. And the person is sitting here. Now once it overcomes the bump, after crossing that bump, what should be the state of person in the car? It should continuously oscillate, or I'll make little bit big. Some are telling sir what, not seeing anything. These are the, for our understanding purpose, I'm showing shock absorber and the person is here. Let's assume that. So these are the springs. What do you expect? As when the bump arrives here, the spring will get compressed and the person what will not feel something, some sort of any jerk or something. So definitely what the spring will undergo compression and the person will feel comfortable. Once after crossing this, even after crossing this, if this is oscillating, the person what will be oscillating. How you feel? So even the vehicle crossing the bump, if the still these springs are oscillating, the persons will not feel comfortable, no, but it should oscillate only for a while, so that what you don't feel this particular bump effect on the body. Am I right, all of you? In the shock absorbers, two-wheelers, or you can say four-wheelers. So why do we have shock absorbers? What happen? We don't feel effect of this, or you can say some pit, uneven road. We should not feel effect. And this particular shock absorbers will protect this total vehicle. So what all that particular, you can say that damage, no, for that will occur for vehicle open that can be overcome by this particular shock absorbers here. Now let's come for discussion. As the vehicle goes up, this will undergo deformation, and because of deformation, slightly we will also move this one. If they vibrate continuously, what happened to person even after crossing this will be vibrating? This not good, no? That too, if for a driver, even after crossing bump, if you're vibrating, I think driving will not be safe. So what should happen? They should be critically damped here. So what shall I do now? Along with the springs, I'll fill up a liquid here, viscous liquid. So what that viscous liquid will do will not permit the spring to oscillate like this under damped. Are you getting? So what they do? The springs, the liquid which is surrounding the springs, what happen? They will see that it be critically damped. The springs will undergo deformation, but immediately what happen? The deformation will be minimized. So like that, we'll feel comfortable. That's why if you look at the vehicle, as you move, if you cross over a bump, even after crossing bump, if you still vibrates, what is the problem? The liquid inside surrounding springs got damaged, or the springs might have got damaged. They'll ask you, suspension is a problem, or the shock absorbers is a problem. We have to replace. It will be off like this. Even this also not advisable. For shock absorbers, the condition should be like this. So vehicles, especially what happened, the front you can see, no, when you press your handle, you can feel yourself, no, the particular thing. So they should be of this kind, critically damped. The liquid surrounding the springs should be of this kind. It should be critically damped here. So if the liquid, what happens, if it loses its viscosity with the time, it will become under damped. So we have to replace that particular liquid. One example is what I'm giving. Where do we use, sir, and all? As very widely we are using in shock absorbers. For shock absorbers, what happen? The equation, the curve should be of this particular kind. Who will determine this? The value of P. Okay, I agree with this one. So this is the some basic ideas. Now, what are the types of questions? After what time the amplitude will become 1/4 of initial value? After what time the amplitude will become 1/4 of initial value? So what is the A of t? You can write it A naught by 4. So let's come to the equations. What is the type of numericals we can expect here? So this will be after what time, find the time at which amplitude will be of the initial value. If they ask you like this, so what we should do, A of t in place of A of t, A naught by 2. So A naught e to power of minus bt by 2m. So this will become 2 is equal to e to power of bt by 2m. Then taking log on both sides. Log e, no, log of e to power of so what is the time now? So time should be equal to 2m by b log 2. So the time at which the amplitude will become half of the initial value. Similarly, after what time the energy will become half of the initial value means what we should write here, equal to E naught. Similarly, we'll calculate the time at which energy will become half of the initial value. So these are the types of numericals what were there that came in mains exam finally. So what students will do, sir, how this equation has come in mains exam, if you're thinking, I think there's a big headache, no? None of your business. You just ask find the amplitude after certain time in damped oscillation. B is the damping coefficient. Substitute here. You'll give value of B. You'll give the value of B. You'll give log 2 value. You'll give the mass. If I increase the mass of system, they'll take more time, no, for the amplitude. You see, you have everything in front of you now. If I increase the mass of the system, then it take more time for the amplitude to decrease off of the value. If I increase B, then take less time. If I increase B, if I decrease B, it will take more time. So this is what. So we'll determine the shape of the curve, the value of B. Am I right? If B increases, then what will take less time for the amplitude to become half of the initial. If B decreases, it will take more time. So the value of B will determine the shape of the curves. I'm making things clear. Value of B and M, better say, mass and the damping effect, damping coefficient. Written. So the different curves are different curves. Shape of different curves depends on values of M and B. For different values of M and B, what happens? The system will behave in different way. Able to understand why the sir, why you are putting that one? If B is 0, then you get this one undamped. What do you mean by undamped? B is 0. So what is this? This will be B is I. For red color one, the value of B is very high. Getting the idea? So these are the meaning of this curse is what student has to understand here. Okay, fine. So this is, I think, just it's some theoretical information. You know to bother, and you have some equations. Based on the equations will come. Now, find the time at which energy will become half of the initial energy, half of the initial value. If they ask the question, what to do now? Let me introduce to the next one. Find the time at which will be of the initial value. So what is the expression for energy? We know E equal to E naught minus BT by M. Okay, yellow color, shaded one. That only I brought it. After what time the energy will become half of the initial value. So this will become E naught by 2, E naught taking log on both sides. The time at which the energy will become half. Again, it depends upon the value of M and B. How you want that energy to be varied. Okay, it's having wide applications. So at our level, I just gave one shock absorber is the best example what I'm giving. Okay, anybody have doubt till here? Okay, you can clarify it. We'll proceed to the next part. Now, sir, is it a sine cos who will determine? Again, that depends upon the initial from where you are going to count the time. Anything related to curve, if you want to ask, you can clarify it. Now, what do you mean by over damped, sir? Can you say anything about over damped, under damped? Okay, we'll write some conditions to over damped, under damped one. Over damped, let me write it. Undamped, undamped first, I'll write it. Undamped, the system oscillates at its natural frequency omega naught. Now, next one, over damped, the system returns to equilibrium without oscillating. This is very important. If I don't tell these things, no, from the graph, interpretation will be very difficult for you. In exam, these are the types of questions. What I'm writing, no, this is the way what they'll ask you. Critically damped. The system returns to equilibrium as quickly as possible without oscillating. Over damped. Next, what we have is over damped, critically damped, and under damped. Okay, next one. Under damped here. So the system oscillates at reduced frequency compared to undamped case with the amplitude gradually decreasing to with amplitude. I think the bracket should be here. I'll put it at reduced frequency compared to undamped case. Okay, no, tell me like how the shock absorbers should be. What do you expect? Should be under damped. It is under damped. What will happen? Even after crossing the bump, what will happen? You will be oscillating. So if the mechanical parts, car is made up of mechanical parts. If the mechanical parts, if they move more, unwanted movements are there, definitely what happen, the car will come under repair. The car may get damaged totally. So therefore, it should be critically damped here. Some need under damped. Some of the parts should be under damped. Some of the parts should be like over damped. Some should be undamped. So like this, it all depends upon the requirement. The technical requirement, what happen, I'll determine. So we determine what type of oscillation, the value of B and M. This what, say mechanical engineering is not that easy. I'm telling you this one. So don't think that to be happy you're going to pick up engineering. I think from the beginning, I'm telling this one. It's very, very complicated. It'll be very tough. As a teacher, I should tell you at this point only. To become happy, sir, I'm going to become engineer means then you are the biggest fool on the earth. To be unhappy, so that you'll be lot of pressure, lot of stress will be there for you. You'll be struggling day and night to find out the best efficient engine. That's what the engineering. Anything, mechanical engineer, software engineer, civil engineer, anything you want to become, you want to be unhappy, become engineer. You want to encounter troubles in your life, troubles in the sense not like financial, I'm talking the scientific challenges. If you want to accept all that one, okay, you become engineer. What you do, it become failure. Okay, like this, some setbacks, okay, what happened will be there for you. 5% success, 95% failure is what engineering. You never get success first stretch. You are going to do experiment many times. When you do 100 times, 5% will get success, 95% will be failure. This is what happens in engineering field. So engineering is not about perfection. Engineering is all about like how to reach perfection with patience. This is what a student should develop at very young age, the ability to learn, to fight with it. So what is the approach we have? The moment you see a question, we won't answer. Not possible. You will not become engineer. You'll become magician. Okay, getting the idea, no? So the value of B and M will define. So here, For underdamped oscillation, the frequency will slightly decrease. What is the meaning of this? Sir, what is the equation? The equation already have here. Because of B, what will happen? It will slightly decrease, no? So I'll write that particular formula, omega, or we'll paste it. Okay, I brought that particular thing. It decreases slightly. In fact, omega will be less than omega naught. Okay, there's a basic idea of this one. So what they do is they'll ask you, find the new frequency of oscillation of the system. If the value of B and M they give, the K and M will be available. What is the new frequency of oscillation? They'll ask you. So there's a new frequency of oscillation. Undamped this much, this will not be there. When underdamped only you have to use. So don't say for say like a critically damped, this is omega. In critically damped, what means the system will not oscillate, no? Only in underdamped it will oscillate gradually. Okay, I think you had that's what I brought this equation. Many will ask me, sir, what is this one? You're not permitting it to oscillate. You're not permitting it to gradually come to equilibrium. This is what here oscillations. It will be like this. Means how the oscillations of that one spring block system. If you, sir, can you plot how the spring block system will vibrate for under dam? It'll be like this. The amplitude keeps on decreasing. Suppose initially this amplitude. So how the amplitude? It will be like initially like this. Okay, fine. It'll be like this initially. So look at the amplitude keeps on decreases. No. What about critically damped? Critically damped, finish over. What about overdamped? Overdamped, gradually it will come to equilibrium. Undamped, okay, this one, this is undamped. Okay, now in your ohm, swing will be there, no? Swing, or you can say spring block system, anything, elastic band will be there. What type of motion you see? Underdamped, critically damped, or overdamped? Underdamped, no? You take spring block, I think some any elastic body there, tie one, some stone or some eraser or something. You displace and release, you see underdamped. Same thing, you go and immerse in some liquid, some dense liquid here, some sticky like oni or something, you see critically damped or over damped. In air, we see under damped. Fine. So any of the questions can be asked. Just be alert. Anybody have any doubt? You can say the mathematical ways of asking question is this much here. So what are the things? Amplitude, energy, or the new frequency? This frequency is only for under damped. Anybody having doubt, you can just clarify because it's just only information, no? Sir, examples, can you give examples of this one? Door, you take example of door. So let's take the few more examples so that you at least you can experiment this in. I'll give one more example. It depends on the value of B. How will B of means what shall I reply?
So like critically damped, you told B will be very high. So something
Some
like that,
values,
like range.
some value it is.
Okay.
Odem, some value it will be that one. Return to its This example of door, no, under damped. And it's critically damped. A door best example, the door. I think this is a very, you might have not noticed there's a problem. Sir, what is a door? How it translates, please don't ask. You must know the physical world in which you are living. Don't tell me like, sir, what do you mean by door oscillation? All that one. You must know this one. You just give a push and release it. If the door returns back after oscillating 1, 2, 3, say like a some after 5, 6, 10 oscillations, then it's under damped. If the door like a you just give a push and release it. If you just give a push and release it, if it oscillates, if it returns to this very slowly, means gradually it will come back. Oh, damned. If you give a push and release, immediately it will return back. It will be critically damped here. So who will determine this? From where it will come? So, okay, where is the viscous drag and all? The viscous drag, the air which is present, and also the friction at the inch, that will determine what type of motion it will come, that one. So what do you expect the door? Should be critically damped. If it returns back immediately, what happens? Especially glass doors, how they should be? Critically damped or over damped? How should be under damped? If you just open the door and release, if it oscillates like this, there's a big problem, no? Lot of sound will come. If the glass door, if it comes very quickly, the glass panel may get damaged. It may get broken. So therefore, what is the problem now? It should be over damped here. It should be designed in such a way. Okay, even for the doors of the car. Okay, we have so many examples are there around us. Only thing is we should open our eyes. But we don't open eyes. What happened? We just only open our textbooks and we want to learn science. You can't bring science. You can't learn science through books. That's what I'm saying, that one. Only say 5%. The remaining 95%, you should open eyes and look at world around you. Then only science will, and science you can manage. But nowadays what happens? Students are want to see science through the only book. That's the problem. Science cannot be learned only through the book. I'm not against the book, but trying to learn science only through book is a problem. As book is essential, but only through book is what nowadays happening. So that's why we have all these headaches. Okay, I given enough of examples so you can make observation all these things. Shall we go for next one? The forced oscillations will take it here. Shall I go for next one? So it's nothing but in damped oscillation, we are forcing it to be undamped. That's the meaning of this forced oscillation. Okay, we do the best example of forced oscillation is I'm asking you to go to the swing. The swing, I think in garden, the swing will be there. No? So what do you mean by swing? Okay, this is, some of you say, so what do you mean by swing? Also, people are asking. Okay, kid, let me bring one kid. You'll be holding this particular thing. I think some of you might have played. Okay, this is the, okay, this is the swing one. There's a kid. Huh? Okay, no, the kid will swing. No, so this is what the dam, like a forced oscillations will come. So what is the, let me take, so this is the ground. Huh? There's a pole. What is that horizontal one? There's a pole. Okay, please, I think all of you seen. So these are the supporting rod. These are the supporting rod. No idea. Go visit once garden and come. Okay, there's a supporting rods. There's a horizontal beam. And there's a swing. No, so the swing what will happen will be like this. Okay, this is, so now the swing will be, it is going to swing like this, no? Okay, Jula, somebody, some Jula, I think Telugu, what you call. This will be like a Jula, no? So this will be. Okay, now you do one thing. Let be a small kid. That one. You just give some slight push and you go and sit here. Be away. What will happen to this thing? It will oscillate and will come to rest. No? Again, the kid will cry. Then again, you give some push. It will oscillate. The moment it stops, the kid will cry. This is what happens. Why do it come to rest? Why did it come to rest? When the swing, when the particular, like there's supporting, you can say like a plank or something, this plank, okay, there's a plank we'll call. These are the strings. Okay, no. Why the, if you give some push and release, the swing what will happen? Will oscillate and finally will come to rest. Okay, tell me like why it happens? Anybody?
Sir, reaction force with the
Reaction force with the
it beams hinges.
Okay, there'll be a, you say there'll be a friction here. Okay, I'll apply grease. All of you know grease, Grease, grease for vehicles. I'll put some oil, grease. Okay, I'll minimize it. Okay, tell me. Now also it will come to rest. Yeah.
Sir, air drag.
Yeah, drag, that's all. There'll be a whisker drag will be there. No. There'll be a whisker drag. So in fact, it is oscillating. This will be the path of the motion of the swing. I'll show the physical diagram. So initially I'll give velocity V naught. So as it is swinging, the kid come plank, everything. So when it is have no, so here the viscous drag will be there. Okay, fine. So this is, so again, when the swing comes, both the viscous drag will always act opposite to velocity, no? So when it is having velocity, say V1, viscous drag, V2, the viscous drag. So again here, FV naught. Here it will have less velocity, FV3. Again, the swing goes here, V4. Tell me like how the viscous drag will be always act opposite to the velocity of the that particular plank and kid that swing. So because of the viscous drag, it will oscillate and finally come to rest. So how the path of the swing will be? The swing initially it will be like this. I'm showing the amplitude. Okay, fine. Why do this one? This is the A drag. There'll be an A drag will be there. Okay, now what you do is like to maintain that amplitude fixed here. So there's the initial, it should have been amplitude. Huh? But what will happen to amplitude keeps on decreases, come to rest. To maintain the same amplitude, what you should do, how much of energy decreases per cycle? What is a per cycle? The one cycle is this one. Huh? There's a one cycle. What is the one cycle? It goes, there's a mean position. I'll come to the mathematics first. Let me explain through diagrams so that'll be easy for you. What is the mass involved here? So what is the one oscillation? The one oscillation is like this. Huh? For every oscillation, viscous drag will consume some energy, no? So therefore, the amplitude of oscillation keeps on decreases. Once it comes to it, the kid will cry. Again, what happened? The parent who is there, who is caretaker of that kid or parent or somebody, they know. Again, what you'll do, you'll come and you'll give some push. Again, it will start oscillating. The kid will feel happy. I think this is what happens in garden. So next time when you go to the park, everything, do play. If it is meant for, kid, okay, play it. Since I think you're grown up now, you are adult. I don't think so. You have a chance now. So if it is really meant for you, yes, you can play it. Okay, this one. So now, what is the remedy for this? So I want the oscillations will happen. The kid should not cry. So what I should do? How much of energy it decreases in one oscillation, that much if I continuously supply, what will happen to that amplitude? Will remain fixed. Agreed? So because here, like when the block moves from here to here, the viscous drag does negative work. So oscillation energy decreases. So like that, what I should do? How much of energy decreases in one oscillation? That much of energy, if I continuously supply, what will happen to this swing? It will maintain a constant amplitude and the kid will never cry. This is what happens here. So if you just give one push and go away and sit, the swing will swing and will finally come to rest. Okay, what I should do? For the amplitude to remain same, I must give energy equal to energy dissipated. So continuously. So usually what happens, did you notice? The person will give just one push, will go and sit, or continuously will be giving push. Continuously I'll be giving push, no? Am I right? Or some kid who are a little bit grown up, no? If their legs can touch the ground, what they do? They'll be kicking the ground, no? To impart energy. So will they kick only once or they'll kick continuously? They'll kick continuously, they'll kick the ground, or somebody will be continuously pushing the swing. So at what rate I'll be supplying energy? Because here the energy is decreasing. I should supply energy. So I'm going to supply energy continuously, no, at a rate, because say I'll push. Again, when the swing comes, again I'll push. Like that continuously I'll be pushing it. So while I'm pushing also, there is some sort of, like you can say like in 1 second, how many times I pushed, that will become frequency. So shall I say driving force has come into picture? What is the driving force? Because the swing, for it to what happen, to oscillate continuously, we should supply energy continuously. I should apply a driving force. I should apply a force. And what is the frequency of force? Or is it like that I will run along with the swing? Is it advisable? Or I should stand here, I'll push it. Again, when the swing comes, again I'll push it. Am I right, all of you? So it is here, no, I'll push it. Again, when the swing comes, again I'll push it. Like that, what happen? When the swing is oscillating, what happen? I'll be pushing it. I'll be pushing it at a certain frequency, no? Because continuously for certain interval of time, I'll push it, I'll wait. Then again, when the swing comes, again I'll push it. So like this, I'll be applying a force. And how do that force? That force will vary with the time. That's called like a driving force or driving frequency. And the swing is oscillating frequency. Okay, what should happen here now? The rate at which energy decreases, at that rate you supply energy, as it will oscillate with constant amplitude. Now, if you push more such that what happen? The energy supplied is greater than the dissipated. What will happen? If you push more and more, the swing, what happen, may go and it may go up to till, you know, the kid may fall. No, that's also very problematic. Okay, don't keep kid and experiment. You sit and experiment. You may fall, you can adjust, but the kid cannot adjust. So therefore, you do one thing in this plank, you keep any sort of block or something which will not slip. That one. Then give small displace, small push here. It will oscillate. Continuously push it. Now, as you keep on, if you rigorously start pushing this one, at one instant open, as the swing will go up till here, and what all you kept object may fall. So I think there are two cases are there, no? So three cases are there. One, okay, how much energy needed? If you supply that, it will maintain its oscillation. If you supply energy less than which is required, as it will be like this. If you supply energy required more than this, what happen? It will swing rigorously and the kid may fall. Two things are there. So of all, what is very important? So it should swing with a constant angular amplitude. Say, let this be say 30 degrees. It should not swing more than 30 degrees. So then, so how much of energy lost, that much of energy you supply, is it will have the same amplitude. They're called like a resonance. Means at what frequency this particular swing is swinging. At that frequency you supply energy, then resonance occurs. Then what will happen? Then what happen? The kid will feel comfortable. If you supply at a energy at a frequency less than the frequency required, the frequency of oscillation of the swing, then what happen? It will be off like this. If you supply at a frequency more than the oscillating frequency, then what happens? Will not be at resonance. Again, the kid may fall. The best example with the swing, you can try. Don't take kid and experiment. I'm telling this one. You can take your friend and you can do that experiment. So like that, we have many examples here. This is one practically what we see in the garden, in the park, is what I took example. So therefore now, what is the thing? The driving frequency will come into picture. When forced oscillation is there, no, the driving frequency will come. So now how to express here? Now I'm going to apply a driving force. The force which will vary harmonically with the time. So why that one? Because I think you'll be continuously pushing this particular plank, no? You'll be continuously pushing this plank, means continuously you're applying a force. And how do that force? That force will vary harmonically. So that's what we call, it's a driving force. So I'll write it F of FD, I'll write it. There's a driving force. So this should be equal to F naught cos omega dt. What is omega d? Driving angular frequency. What is omega naught, or driving angular frequency? Or in terms of swing, can you say, sir, what do you mean by driving angular frequency? The rate at which person pushes the swing. This is in common, this is a technical language. In terms of common language, what happened? Just like the rate at which person pushes the swing, means per second how many times you push. Simplest idea. You'll be pushing with a certain force, F naught. This what here. Okay, now what is the resultant equation of SHM will be M. So what are the forces that will be acting? M of AT equal to minus there'll be viscous drag also will be present, and this driving frequency. Altogether, they are acting on this particular system. Okay, this will be M d square x by dt square minus this will be k x of t. This will be bv or b dx by dt. There's a viscous drag like or damping force, and there's a driving force. What is the driving force? F naught cos omega t dt. This is again equation of SHM only. So what is this driving force, or you can call like what is FD? FD is what? Driving force or external periodic force. So when you apply this driving force, what will happen? The swing what will happen now will start vibrating with this particular driving force frequency. So therefore now, so what is the basic? We'll write it here. I'll write some explanation. When we apply the external periodic force FD, the oscillations natural frequency die out I'll write it here. Die out, and then the body finally oscillates with the angular frequency of the external periodic force. Okay, no, so the displacement is given by A naught cos omega d, this one, not omega naught. Then what about the amplitude? The amplitudes, okay, okay, this is, sorry, this is it. No, this will be, this amplitude is given by F naught. Remember formula, sir, don't bother, sir, how you wrote all this one. At your level, not possible to show mathematically. Tan phi is given by minus of V naught okay, no, so this is what is so what is V naught x naught? So you can ask, sir, what is V naught? Initial velocity and x naught. So means here what you give initial some velocity to this swing, that is V naught. Initially it's at some position, no, you may give somewhere from here, so that is what x naught here. So V naught and x naught. Initial velocity and initial displacement at t equal to 0. Okay, now there are two ways are there. First, omega d equal to omega, then omega d very much greater than omega. We'll break up the discussion in two parts. Omega d greater than omega and omega d for that one. So first cases we'll discuss here. Small damping. Small damping. Driving frequency far from natural frequency. Far from natural frequency means like greater than, you can put it here. So here what we write it, omega dB will be much smaller than m omega square omega d square. There's a condition. Then what is the amplitude of oscillation? It is given by f naught Okay, agree this. So this is the condition I put when driving frequency far from natural. Far means very much in terms of this one here. Now, what is the meaning of this small damping? Driving frequency far from natural frequency. So what is the meaning of this? So when this condition arises here, so they say small damping, there'll be some damping, or don't say there's no damping. There'll be some damping this one. So when this condition arises, put like this. So sir, can you say in terms of swing? So when this happens, so when your timing of time period of oscillation of swing, if it is equal to time period of oscillation of push, what will happen to this one? When omega equal to omega d, what do you mean by this? The amplitude will become infinity. But practically what happens? There'll be some damping will be there. So therefore it cannot be infinity. You can say very large. So when you get that large amplitude, when omega equal to omega d, this is what I wanted to say. When the time period at which you are pushing, if it is equal to time period of oscillation of the swing, then what will happen? The amplitude will be infinity. Practically, it will be very large. So we are not understanding. You see, like if you set free the swing, it will take some time to oscillate. No, there's a time period. At the same time period, if you apply driving force, means you'll be pushing it at the same time period. Then what will happen? The amplitude will become infinity or will become very large. But practically what will happen? Here, not infinity will become very large because there'll be some damping will be there. Even this what happens in small damping. So therefore, what we should do to have the small damping, we should apply grease where at the suspension here. We should apply grease here between bearings and that particular string. No, if I apply a grease, what will happen? Small damping will result because of small damping. And if you start pushing with a frequency equal to natural frequency of the swing, then what happen? We'll get a very good amplitude, not infinity, large. This is what we have to take care here. So ideally, if omega equal to omega d, A will be infinity. Practically, A will be very large. There's a meaning of that one. This condition is, if it is applicable like this, then we can go for here. So when you write, when omega d is equal to omega, A tends to infinity. Practically, it will be large, not infinity. It cannot be what happened. Practically it will be large due to some damping, because small damping you're saying, you're not saying damping zero, small damping will be there because of small damping. Okay, there's a one mathematical condition you can put it. So second one, driving frequency close to natural frequency. Omega d will be very close to omega in this case. So what will happen? The equation will become A is equal to F naught by omega dB. It will be very confusion. When omega equal to omega d, I think if you want, I'll take it out this, because you're telling the sir, why don't you substitute this and bring this one after this condition for amplitude to be large. Again, if you make equal, there's a separate case here. If you want, I'll remove it here. Some students are getting confused. Sir, again, you wrote this one for explanation purpose. When amplitude will be infinity, again, when the driving frequency equal to natural frequency of the swing. So that will be very confusion for you mathematically. So let me put here. Now there's a thing, when driving frequency close to the natural frequency here, then the amplitude is given by this particular formula. This is called like a resonance here. It can never be infinity until this one. Omega equal to omega, it can never be infinity. It will be very large here, this one. So this particular condition is called like a resonance. When equal to natural frequency, when driving frequency equal to natural frequency, then energy lost per cycle is supplied by an exchange agent maintaining amplitude constant. So this is called as, this phenomena is called as resonance. Means how much of energy lost per cycle, that much of energy if I supply, the amplitude remains constant, and that is called like a resonance. I think when the kid will enjoy the swing, how much of energy is decreasing per cycle, that much of energy if you continuously supply, then the swing will have a constant amplitude, the kid will feel pleasant. So therefore, when you go for the swing, when kid is sitting, no, as you start pushing the swing, what you have to do, it's a skill. You cannot just push in your own way. How much, what will happen? How much of energy decreasing per cycle, that much of energy if you supply, no, so nothing but what happened? A resonance is occurred. So what is the resonance? The frequency at which you are supplying energy is equal to the natural frequency of the swing. Because of that, resonance will occur and the amplitude remains constant. I think this is what needed for swing, no? So this called, so it is very important in some machines all. So for at our level in mechanics, no, I can give this swing as an example. Maintaining amplitude, so by an exchange agent maintaining amplitude constant, I'm telling. Here what will happen, amplitude constant in the sense the amplitude increases, it will become some fixed, very you can say appreciable value. So that particular phenomena is called as a resonance here. Or I think by an exchange agent maintaining increase in amplitude, I'll write it. This will be better technically. This phenomena is called as resonance. Okay, no, so these are some types of questions, the only technical. So just only, I think you have to remember formula. At resonance, the amplitude of the force losses is given by this one. Small damping, driving frequency far away, this is the equation what we have. This called a forced oscillation. What do you mean by forced oscillation? So now you may ask, like, sir, can you give other than spring any example? Okay, let me take a spring. So the here is what I'll apply driving force myself. This one. So along with this, here spring force will be acting. Mg, if it is having velocity, here viscous drag. Even if you want buoyancy in due to air, that also you can bring. This particular thing, I will making it to vibrate. So when this will have large amplitude, when this driving force becomes equal to natural frequency of the block, this end of the spring is not, it's like it's not a fixed here. This I'll be moving up and down. Okay, this point will be moving up and down. We will move, and like a person holding this, what happened will be moving it up and down. Okay, I think I'll show the hand. Some of you are finding difficult. Okay, there's a spring, no? How to show finger? Okay, I'll bring it. I'm unable to show. I'll try it later on. So here it will be like this. Huh? Person holding this end and moves up and down. That one. This is driving frequency. So what happened? The block will oscillate. Here what happened? We have a damping effect, everything. So when this driving frequency becomes equal to natural frequency of the block, then this will have a very large amplitude. This is called like a resonance. This is what very important here. So when this block will have maximum amplitude when the driving frequency becomes equal to the natural frequency of the block. So here the block will oscillate with maximum amplitude when omega d, when driving frequency becomes equal to natural frequency of oscillation of block, called as resonance. Okay, this is simplest thing. So when this will have maximum amplitude, when this will also have maximum amplitude, when the driving frequency means I'll be moving up and down. This particular, what is this force? This force which I'll be apply will be of this kind of. F naught is a force cos omega t. Okay, I agree this. So this is the basic idea. This is called like a forced oscillation. You are forcing it to oscillate. You are not permitting it to oscillate on its own. You are forcing it to oscillate according to your convenience. That's all called like a forced oscillation. So here at this particular end, I'll be pulling it up and down. This will oscillate. Okay, here we can show like this. Agree? No? This is the, what is this arrow? It shows the vibrations of this one. Okay, this is about, again, just remember formula and some technical ideas you remember, that will be sufficient. Okay, we'll go for next topic called as torsional oscillation. Very small one. We'll finish off this also. Just wait. A torsional. So you take this is a wire. This is a wire, and we have a disc. This is a wire, not a rod. It's a wire. Now you're going to give a small push, or say you're going to twist, you're going to rotate, you're going to give small angular displacement. The wire will get twisted. The wire will get twisted. So then again, it will return back to its original position. Then that will say torsional oscillation. So it's not like something what we have studied. So the twisting of wire will take place. So as I rotate the disc, the wire will get twisted. As rotate the disc about an axis. I'll show that axis also. This axis. About the suspension only, that's called like an axis here now. So we'll proceed like this. As we rotate the disc, and release, the wire gets twisted, and a restoring torque is set up in it. Elastic restoring torque. Okay, we'll write it. Elastic restoring torque is set up in it. That will bring this to initial position. Like this, it will be oscillating. What do you mean by twist? I think this is something very important. So we are not understanding what we mean by twist. How to imagine this? Is it practically possible? Is it practically possible is what we'll start thinking. I'll give one example. Let's see that. You can take any plastic cover or your school bag or college, anything bag is, where it will have strips. I'm trying to arrange it. Okay, you can see now. Let me have the video. All of you able to see this? So now what I do? I twisted, no? Are you noticing it? It will oscillate, no? So why do it oscillate? I think I'll put more weight. I'll put more weight here. You can see this one. Okay, what is that string? The string black color one. These are the strips. It's a polythene cover. Nothing is there. Where we call this handle, no? This is the thing, that one. So this is the, now I put more weight. I displaced it. Is it oscillating? Yes, it will oscillate. No? This is the torsional oscillations. Don't say angular SHM. It's an angular SHM only, but you have to call torsional oscillation. The wire will get twisted. So if you take it, no, if you take it little bit long one, you can see clearly. It'll be oscillating. So you can take some towel or say, okay, I have a bag. I'll put some other things. Okay, you can see this particular bag is there. So many objects around us, you just tie with a thread or something, you rotate and displace it. So it will be. So what is the string? The string. The strip. The strips will become string, that one. So this is what the torsional oscillations, what we are discussing. Nothing big. Okay, fine. This one. So now from where that torque will come, from where that torque will come, from where that torque is set up, the torque is set up by the elastic restoring forces in the wire. So they will set up. So let's not bother like, sir, how do they torque? So, and it's a rigid body. There's a rigid body. There's an elastic wire, you write, so that it will flash for you. So now the restoring torque is set up. This one. So here we have given angular displacement theta like this. The restoring torque set up by the wire due to twisted wire will be like this here. So this torque should be equal to, this is proportional to negative of C into theta, I'll write it. So what is this? C is what? Couple per unit twist. Will be different for different wires. What is this? This should be equal to I into alpha. So what is the angular acceleration? This you can write at d square theta by dt square. Now what is I? I is the moment of inertia. Mi of rigid body about the axis. So this will become d square theta for small angular displacement we are discussing. So this will be comparing with the standard equation of SHM, omega square equal to Ci, and what is the time period is given by 2 pi I by C. What is couple per unit twist of a wire? It is not of a rigid body. And for different bodies, what happens? The value of C will be for different wires, the value of C will be different, and that will be given for us. We need not to bother that one. So it will be oscillating. So how the motion of the disc will be, the disc what happen will swing like this. Just now I shown the bag or polythene cover. No, these are called as torsional oscillation. Again, you may call sir angular SHM. It's a part of angular SHM only. From where the restoring torque will come in the wire. Who will produce the restoring torque? Produce in the wire. The elastic forces only will set up a torque, and that will make the body to return back to its original position. So what is the advantage of this? So can we find out the couple per unit twist of a body? So you may get things like we are not understanding anything. Suppose if you take a wire, just I wanted to give information. This is a wire. So as you rotate, if you look at the wire, no, so the different parts of the wire will have different theta. Wire gets twisted. So if you see this part will be a twist. The different parts what happen will have different twist. The one which is in contact with the body, what will happen here, it will have more angle displacement. Am I right? So as you swing it, the wire which is in contact with the rigid body, what happen, it will have more angular displacement. This idea no. Next layer, it will next at the other point. The twist acquired by the layers will be different here. So these layers resulting what happen will okay, I'll do one thing. Some are asking, sir, what is that dotted line? So initially the dotted line will be here. So when you twist it, what happen, the different layers will have different angular displacement. Am I right? Getting the idea? So this is the, I'll write A, B. This will become B dash. Or after getting twisted, so this is the twisted wire. This is a normal wire. The B itself will come here. So let me show it. It will be better. Huh? Okay, fine now. The different angles. So here what happen, a restoring torque will be set up by that one. Elastic restoring torque will be set up. What is I? What is I? I will be m r square by 2. Substitute that. Can we calculate the restoring couple of these things? So I'll give some small numericals so that will be easy for you. So I have a there's a wire. I'll take a little bit thin. You may confuse this to be any other thing. There's a wire and we have a cylinder. Okay, the mass of cylinder be m1. This is length L. And it's having a couple per unit twist. I will make it to swing. So then the time period of oscillations is given by 2 pi, or the moment of inertia of this cylinder, m1 L square by 2L by K, 2L by C, couple per unit twist. And there's an axis, no, about passing through the center, there'll be axis. Now what I do is I will place some object on this cylinder or thin rod. Okay, this again, it's a thin rod. This M1, this as usual L. I'm going to place a block of mass M2. With the new time period, this will be 2 pi. The answer will be M1 L square by 2L plus M2 L by 2 whole square by K by C. So even if I don't know couple per unit twist of this wire, I can find out the time period or other things. So I'll divide these two, or T2 by T1. 2 pi root of C will get cancelled. So what will be ending up with M2 L square by 4 by this will become 1 plus M2 by 3M1. T2 by T1, sorry. Okay, fine. Even if you don't have information of couple per unit twist, you can find out the time period of oscillation by using this setup. These are the types of numericals you can expect here. What is C? C is a couple per unit twist. If they ask you to find out, now you say that one. I want to find out this C. Okay, after I can measure T2, T1. We know M2 and M1. Or if you know T, yeah.
Sir, 3M2 by M1, sir.
3 M2 will come. Yeah, okay. So in labs, no, this is the method what we'll use. So if I place some block here, no, it's then the moment of inertia of system will change. M1 L square by 2L plus M2 L by 2 whole square. No? So this distance is how much? L by 2. If you place another block, the time period will change. Like that, even if I don't know couple per unit twist, no, I can manage this experiment by using these combinations. You do have in exams questions of this kind. Okay, how to find out couple per unit twist here? So what we can do, even we can do one thing. I'll take the difference of these two. If I take difference of these two, so we can find out the couple per unit twist. You do have wide varieties of problems of this kind. Students, what happen, they get confused. Sir, so instead of this, what happen, you take the difference of these two, T1 square minus T2 square equal to 4 pi square by C. Or I'll write one more, T2 square minus T1 square will be 4 pi square C by how much it will become. Okay, fine. Because M1 L square by 12, M1 L square by 12 will get eliminated. So M2 L square by 4, I'll get it. So now I know this time period I kept a mass, I'll get the couple per unit twist. So in exams, how the questions will be, initially a rigid body is a thin rod, solvent is connected by wire, it will slightly twisted and released, the time period of oscillation is given by T1. Then a particle of mass M2 is kept at one end of the rod, then again it is rotated so that wire will get twisted, torsional oscillations are noted, the time period is given by T2. Then what is the couple per unit twist of the wire? This particular formula. We don't know mass, we don't know length, not needed. You directly end up from here. Okay, pi square, so this will become M2 L square pi square by okay, these are the types of numericals what you can expect in torsional oscillations. All of you got the idea. Torsional oscillations is different from the angular SHM. In angular SHM, the rigid body will go like this here. Here, only the wire will get twisted. Slightly it will rotate here. So how the position of this will be. So I'll give last set of diagram I'll give so that it will be easy for you. What do you mean by torsional oscillations? With the help of rod, I'll show it. So it is like this, no? There's a thing. Okay, now the rod is like this. It can come to this position. Okay, here's what we have given angular displacement theta. The restoring torque in wire, it is set up like this. Okay, agree this. So this is a route. Angular SHM is different from torsional oscillation. So when the torsional will come, when wire will come, the torsional oscillations will come into picture. So it will be vibrating in this particular plane. It's a very, you can see, you look at the mains exams, no? You start from the background, torsional oscillation, damped oscillation, forced oscillation, simple pendulum, compound pendulum, kinematics of SHM. Go to the exam, you'll be very comfortable. Huh? Any doubt you have, you can ask me. So what is C? C is a couple per unit twist. For different wires, it will be different. Okay, any doubt? You please just clarify. Damped oscillation, forced oscillation. If you have anything, you can just clarify it, because it's just only theoretical information, not like numericals where you can think. So you do one thing, just type in Google. You get so many images, so many things, so many diagrams, or in YouTube, you check the videos. No, you can really enjoy. Don't watch teaching one. Say, I'm telling this one, don't watch again somebody's class. Again, if you take any teacher, you'll write the same equations. So what is watching again and again the equations? Instead of pen, try to see the physical example. Like any diagram, or so like any lab, any experiment that is performed to oscillation. See once, so that you'll come to know, oh, this is what I'm studying. Then it will be very easy for you to remember the formulas. Getting the idea? This is so. Please, students, like you have now very nice. You can, what I say, that opportunity for you to learn systematically. I'm saying systematically, that one. Just type in Google. So many practical videos are there. I don't know, students open. I'll ask them to, okay, take help of YouTube. Again, there was some other teacher's video. The same teacher will be writing these equations. Tell me, what is the fun in seeing the same content again and again? Instead, open, you watch something which are practical diagrams, torsional oscillations, practical demonstration in lab of torsional oscillation. Type it. See, when you can search movie, I'll ask you to search movie. Everyone will search movie because you are interested. When I ask you to search on torsional oscillation, students are telling me, sir, how to search. You're not interested. That's why you're asking me. See, it's a very pity that when I ask students like, okay, in Google you can search it. They're asking me, sir, like how to search. You know how to search movie. You know how to search game. Then why can't you search this? This shows the level of interest. No, when you're interested, what happened? All things are possible. When you're not interested, then everything will become question mark. So explore the subject using the videos, using the practical demonstrations, using the images. Okay, don't read theory again. So go to website again, they'll give some information. Okay, you read that theory. The theory, same thing. No? What is use of this? You open textbook available. The one which is not there in textbook, that you search in internet. That'll be much better. Plenty of videos are there, practical demonstrations of damped oscillation, forced oscillation, torsional oscillation. See once, it'll be easy for you. Okay, all of you. So take help of the internet available for you. Very nice way to learn things systematically. So we'll stop the class here. Okay, thank you all of you. So read theory once and try to solve simple objective questions available in mains. That one in advance, it's not there, only in mains. Previous exam papers, the questions available. If you want, I'll post it them. You can try them. Fine.
Thank you.